Assassin's Creed Unity is a familiar game that makes some big changes. Sadly, not all of them are for the better, but that doesn't mean there's not a lot to like. Take the new lead Arno. He's certainly one of the most charismatic and well-acted Assassin's Creed leads I've seen in a while. Cocksure, mischievous, and just enough of a jerk to still be lovable, but the story never quite exploits his charms to the fullest. It certainly tries though. Unity shies away from having a vast collection of ancillary characters, focusing instead upon its lead Arno and his love interest Elise. With less of those supporting characters around, many of whom tended to play a more light-hearted role, the story takes on a much darker tone.
Just go. Please.
What other direction could it have taken? The complex Abstergo storyline has long since jumped the shark, and Unity only briefly ties itself into the wider Assassin's Creed universe. If you are hoping for a deeper dive into the muddled mysteries of Abstergo, you won't find it here. The story, which evolves from love story to revenge tale to murder mystery and then circles right back to love story again, is swiftly paced, but that all-important chemistry between its two leads isn't strong enough to tie the whole thing together. I cared enough to want to see things through to the end, but not enough to be truly saddened by any of its events. It's a shame that the story doesn't tie into the setting that deeply, particularly since Unity's portrayal of a Paris scarred by the civil unrest of the French Revolution is one of its greatest triumphs. The attention to detail that's gone into the city is nothing short of astonishing. Exploring Paris's many districts, you realise that the sheer scale of the city is incredible, not only in terms of its explorable limits, but in the huge number of citizens wandering its streets. A mission where you're tasked with performing an assassination among a crowd of thousands shows how Unity is as close as the series has ever come to creating a tangible, convincing city. Unity succeeds in its combat and missions too. Gone is the enforced hand-holding of old, replaced with excellent sandbox-style missions that let you take on an assassination however you like. You might not succeed every time, but I'm a fan of the trial and error approach, planning out the perfect assassination route after many attempts. The replayability factor here is huge too, giving you far more of an incentive to go back and nail those bonus conditions for completing a mission. These sandboxes make up the bulk of Unity's missions, as well as the all-new 4-player co-op mode. And you know what? Co-op is okay, if not the go-to multiplayer mode you might have hoped for. Most fun are the heist missions, where your team is rewarded for stealthiness. The more people you alert along the way, the less cash you get at the end. The ability to highlight potential kills for your teammates, as well as unlock skills like shared eagle vision, do a great job of reinforcing an idea of teamwork. Indeed, the most successful and entertaining heists come from putting together a varied team, with some members focusing on close range attacks and others taking point with long range weapons. Integrating the co-op into the single player campaign is a neat idea, and it makes for more cohesive ties into the storyline. But it also means that the co-op is a mere sideline to the action, rather than something you'd want to plough a lot of time and effort into. Sadly, the excellent PvP multiplayer from previous games doesn't make a return. So what else is new? There's a mechanic that creates a visible silhouette of your last known position, making it easier to know exactly where you've been spotted, and it also acts as a lure for enemies. There are also time anomaly missions to play through, which are neat platforming puzzles set in different periods of time. There's no more crafting to worry about, with skill points and hard cash letting you customise Arno to your heart's content, while more freeform parkour movement makes for fluid climbing, even if it sometimes frustratingly flakes out and puts you right in the path of an enemy. There are other irritations too. There's content that has to be unlocked by the web-based Assassin's Creed initiates or the painfully dull Assassin's Creed companion app. There are glitches that cause NPCs to randomly walk in mid-air or Arno to float between jumps. And despite whatever canonical reasons Ubisoft gives, it's really weird to wander around revolutionary Paris and have every conversation play out in a thick British accent.
I know your heart is set on keeping the peace, but bringing Monsieur de la Serre's killer to justice would count for something, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. But do not confuse your personal vendetta with a sound strategy.
If he wants to kill Templars, let him kill Templars.
Not all of Unity's more progressive touches work out for the best, but you might spend more time noticing what's old than what's new. The terrific atmosphere of Paris, the focus on parkour, and the incentives for performing stealthy assassinations, all these things hint at a game that's trying to return to its roots after branching out so wildly in its past 2 iterations. Yes, Unity is the most Assassin's Creed 2-like of the series since, well, Assassin's Creed 2, and while it never hits the dizzying heights of Ezio's jaunt through 15th century Italy, Unity's similarities are comforting enough to take the edge off its less than successful changes. Is Unity the next-gen Assassin's Creed we've all been waiting for? Well, not quite. It's very good, maybe even great in places, but the story's smaller focus has come at the expense of its exquisitely rendered backdrop. Assassin's Creed should be all about grandness and spectacle, and sadly, that's sorely lacking here.